Hey everyone, my name is Sean. Today we're going to be adding some fun scrolling animations to our website, so let's take a look. As we scroll down, we can see text and image sliding in from the left and the right, and I even have some fading in here. So adding this functionality to your website is actually fairly simple, and a lot of magic happens behind the scenes because we're going to be utilizing a free JavaScript library called AOS. So let's get started. So to start, we'll need to go to the AOS or Animate on Scroll library website, and I'll have this linked in the description. As we scroll down, we'll see some example animations that we can implement into our website, but if we scroll all the way down, we'll find all the files we need to add to our website. So I'm going to open up our CSS file here in a new window. I'm going to do the same thing for the JavaScript file, open that in a new window. And I'm going to go back to our theme library, and always it's good practice to go to Actions and duplicate your theme so that you're working on a development theme. I've already made a copy of my live website and I've renamed it here so that I know what I'm working on. I'll go into Actions and then Edit Code. From there, we're going to go down to our Assets folder and we're going to add a few files. So we're going to add a new asset and we're going to create a blank file called AOS and leave the file extension as CSS, and we're going to save that. We're going to add another asset also called AOS, but this time the file extension is going to be JS. Save that as well. So I'm going to open my AOS CSS file, which is currently blank, my AOS JS file, which is also blank. I'm going to go back to my files that I opened here. So here's my JavaScript file. I'm going to just select all and copy that and paste that into my JavaScript file and save. I'm going to go back to the same CSS link that I have here, copy all that, and save that into the CSS file here and save. Next, we're going to open our theme.liquid file. It should be near the very top. And we're going to press Control F on our keyboard and search for .js. And this should find all the other JavaScript files that are loaded on our website. So the one that I'm seeing here, I'm going to just copy that line, and right below it, paste the exact same thing. And I'm going to just replace the file name with AOS so that we can reference the file AOS.js that we've created up here. I'm also going to remove this defer attribute. Save that. I'm going to do the same thing by searching for .css, and we'll see the main CSS file here that's loaded on every page. I'm going to copy this line, and right below it, I'm going to add the same thing, but instead I'm going to load in the AOS.css file that we created up here as well, and save that. And the last thing we need to do to add the functionality is copy the script initialization here, and we'll scroll all the way down to the bottom of our theme.liquid file, and right before the closing body tag, we'll just paste that in and save. I also want to mention that because we put all of this code within our theme.liquid file, that means it's going to be rendered every single page of our website. This isn't too much of a problem right now because AOS is a very lightweight library, but as you add more libraries or add libraries that are a lot more heavy, this could have a detrimental effect to your page load speed. So in the future, it might be more beneficial to call all of these files only on the certain pages that you need them. So to start, let's add in our fade in left and fade in right animations that I had for the text and image. So on our keyboard, let's press Control-Shift-C, and then we'll open our developer tools. From there, we'll be able to highlight all of our elements. So let's click on this image here and take a look behind the scenes. We can see that within a parent div with the class of image with text grid, there are two other divs, one with the class of image with text media item and the other with image with text text item. So I'm going to take note of those two class names because we're going to find those within our code and add the necessary data attributes so that our animations can work. In my case, I'm using the Shopify Dawn theme, and they make it really easy to find the files you need. I know that this image with text is a section that I've added here, and it's actually called the exact same thing within my files. So image with text, and if I search for image with text, you'll see it right here within our section. So we open that, and that's the location I'm going to find the classes I was pointing out just a moment ago. Within my section file, I'm looking for image with text media item, and the other one was image with text item. So those are right there, and all I need to do is add the data attribute for the certain animation that I like. So if I go back to the AOS website, and there's even more details in the documentation, I'm going to take the data AOS equals fade right, just copy that entire thing, and I'm going to put that right before my classes, save that, and I'm also going to get the fade left as well. Copy that and put that right before the classes and save. And now when I go back to my website, as I scroll down, you'll see that there's these nice animations. In this case, my animations are not behaving exactly how I want them to, and that's because of this setting here where the image is either first or second. So whenever my image is second, I want it to be fading in from the right, and whenever it's first, I want it to be fading in from the left, and then the opposite for the text. Right now, it's not doing exactly that, so let's fix it. Back in our file, we can go down to our schema section and look for those drop-down options that control the positioning of the image and text. And I found it right here. Image first is one of the options, and text first was the other one. And it looks like I can mess with this information using the ID of layout. So I'm going to go back up to our data attributes here. And remember, with Shopify's template language, we do logic by using the syntax opening curly bracket, parenthesis, then parenthesis and closing curly bracket. And within that, we can write our if statement. So if section.settings.layout is equal to image first, then I want my animation to fade to the right. Else, I want the animation to fade to the left. Copy that and paste there. And then I need to close my if statement, and if. And remember to pay attention to your spacing. We don't want, when this is rendered, for it to combine with the class text here. I'm going to copy this logic I just wrote here and go down to my text area here and replace the other data attribute that I had for the text. And this is going to do the exact same thing, but I want it to do the opposite. So fade left and fade right. Save that. Let's go back and take a look. And now when I do my scrolling, it behaves as I expect it to. Awesome. Next, we were going to add the zoom in animation to these cards. So same as before, we'll open up our developer tools with Control-Shift-C and click on the element itself and go up in the hierarchy as high as we can. Here's the parent element, multi-column list. And within that, we have a bunch of list items that start with the ID slide template. So we know what to look for within our files. Back in my files, I've found my list item that begins with the ID that I'm looking for. So right before that, I'm just going to place the data attribute that I've copied from the AOS website. In this case, it's the zoom in. Save that, and that's it. Let's go back and take a look. Now when I scroll into view, they have a nice zoom effect. There's one more optional thing we can add to our theme.liquid file. You may have noticed if you were messing around with your theme editor after adding these custom animations that if I were to change one of the options here, for example, to image second in my case, it for some reason won't reload. And that's because Shopify's theme editor won't reload JavaScript when we make changes, so we have to explicitly tell it to. So back in our theme.liquid file, there's this little script code here that just tells it to reload the AOS script, and I'll leave this in the description below. But once we save that and we go back to our theme editor, give it a second here to refresh. Now when we make changes, image first, image second, they load no problem without having to refresh the page. There are a few more optional data attributes you can use to adjust your animations even further. Have a look at the AOS documentations for a few examples. But other than that, we're done. Hopefully this helps add some fun to your website. I also wanted to mention, on an unrelated note, the channel is currently at 84 subscribers. I really appreciate everyone's support. We're almost at that 100 subscriber benchmark. If you guys have any suggestions, leave them down in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.